Are you aware that your dual language classroom library might be limiting your students' achievement and growth? Think about it. Does your classroom library appeal to a variety of student interests? Does your classroom library meet all of your learners' reading levels? Does your classroom library have quality books to engage them? And finally, this is a dual language program. Do you have enough Spanish language books to meet your language allocation plan? And simply, why does any of this matter? Well, it matters because interest sparks curiosity and engagement. Interest is important for our students to become engaged in reading. And once they're engaged in reading, they're motivated to read more. And when they're motivated, what happens is they dive deeper into topics. Their interest in topics allows them to comprehend at a much deeper level and think critically about content and learning. Once they're able to do that, your dual language program becomes not only a dual language program, but a dual language program that meets the 3 pillars of dual language, which are bilingualism and biliteracy, high academic achievement, and sociocultural competency. My name's Heather Robertson Devine, and I'm the founder and president of Books Del Sur. I started Books Del Sur 14 years ago to address these issues and so many more that bilingual teachers like myself and my colleagues faced. In my 7th year of teaching, I moved from 6 years out of middle school into an elementary school. And when I made that move, I didn't have a classroom library. So what I did was I took my students to the school library every week, filled their book boxes with books. But what happened during independent reading time? Well, there were a lot of bathroom breaks, there was some fake reading, and many of my students were done with their books. And so I knew I had to solve this problem. So then I asked, where can I get more Spanish books? And I was told, go to the book room, there's some there. Well, when I went there, this is what I found. Now, don't get me wrong, a book like this, it's important for improving students' foundational skills and their fluency. However, this is not what my students wanted for independent reading time. I wanted my students to have books like this, books that were available for English language arts. But, like the book says, there's so few of me. And our to-do lists as a teacher are incredibly long, just like this one. So, I just kind of ignored their behavior. There wasn't much more I could do about it at the time. It wasn't until I became an instructional coach that I was able to dive deeper into this question I had. What could I do to support independent reading time? And here was the trick for me, without adding one more thing to teachers' plates. So during my time as an instructional coach, I dove deeper into the research and I found a few things that I want to share with you. I'm going to read them for you. But before I do, I want you to think about this research supports the lessons that you plan and you spend so much time planning instructing your students. This research tells us how we want students to practice and why we need them to practice. Because our teaching is what we need to do, but we also need our students to practice. So check this out from Richard Allington. I'm going to read it just so I get it right. Richard Allington concluded in his article how reading volume affects both reading fluency and reading achievement. He says, quote, "If educators hope to improve either the oral reading fluency or the reading comprehension of struggling readers, then expanding reading volume, it seems, must necessarily be considered." So what he's really saying is students need to read more. Okay, so how do they do that? Well, let's look at the work of Stephen Krashen. Number 53 of 83, Generalizations about Free and Voluntary Reading, state, quote, "Children with access to better classroom libraries read more." Okay, so what does better mean? Well, better has to do with quality and quantity. Okay, so how many books? Well, let's look at the work of the American Library Association. They suggest that each classroom should have at least 300 books in their classroom library and a well-stocked school library. So what I had when I was in my classroom was a well-stocked school library, but I didn't have a well-stocked classroom library. So we know that quality is critical as well as quantity. But what kind of quality do we want? Well, do students want to read this Or do they want to read this? Yeah, they definitely want to read this. So how do we get books like this in our classroom libraries? Spanish books like this. Well, when it came time for me to leave the classroom, I didn't take that decision lightly. I identify as a teacher, and my parents, who I love and adore and respect, were both teachers. And most of my best friends are teachers. I mean, I'm standing in one of their classrooms right now. So making this transition, I wanted to make sure that I was going to do something for teachers to support them. And what I really wanted to do was take something off their plate. So at Books Still Serve for the last 14 years, we have curated classroom libraries for school districts around the United States of all different sizes. Most recently, we've gotten to work with Chicago Public Schools, Albuquerque Public Schools, and the first district I worked in, Milwaukee Public Schools. It's to say we can work with a school district of any size. No school is too small, and no school is too big. There are plenty of books for all of us. We know that interest is important for engaging our readers. So, at Books Del Sur, we source books from all over the Americas. Our publishers are located in Argentina, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Honduras, Mexico, Peru, Uruguay, España, and Los Estados Unidos, the United States. We source books from all of these places so that we can have the highest quality of books. And we do. Just this past year, in 2023, one of our publishers won the Bologna Award for Best Publisher of the Americas and the Caribbean. So we literally can say we have the best books. And we just don't put any book in our collections. We work with 40 teachers from around the United States of diverse nationalities and linguistic abilities to curate books for our collections. Our teachers work during the summer reading books and curating them for the appropriate grade level. This summer, they curated over 200 books, and they rejected about 30 books, so we don't just take any book. So we've got the books for you, but what we want to do is we want to deliver what you need. So in order to do that, we are offering the attendees of the La Cosecha Conference a free classroom library assessment. What this classroom library assessment is going to do for you is identify how to unlock the potential of your students. It's really simple. All you need to do is fill out the form below. Sign up for a time to meet with us at La Cosecha. Then we'll send you a survey of your classroom libraries. And once you do that, we will deliver to you a solution that offers the best way to appeal to the interests of your students, the reading levels of your students, high quality literature for your students, and make sure it meets your language allocation. It's simple. We want to do the work for you. Meeting time is limited, so sign up now to unlock the potential of your classroom library. And together, we will empower your students' learning journey with the right resources. In the words of Gabriela Mistral, el futuro de los niños es hoy. Mañana será tarde. The future of our children is today. Tomorrow is too late. So I'll see you at La Cosecha. Thank you.